That's
Exactly.
the positivity we need on a Tuesday.
And Mzamo, thank you for the reminder. Rest in peace, Sipiwe Mkonza. Absolutely.
Oh yes, we posted that on our
Dr.
socials.
Mnandi.
Dr.
Nandi.
Mnandi,
Yeah.
cool guy.
Did you ever meet him, friend?
Yes.
Is it?
Actually, we work in the same
Obviously.
building. Yes.
But I mean, you know.
Cool guy. He was always like jolly person, and yeah.
Hey man.
Yeah,
Remember the game against Golden Arrows? I'm sorry, against Chiefs. Yeah, when he scored and then he equalized for the
Oh, God.
opponents.
Yeah, one of those memories, eh?
Football is a nasty, nasty mistress. We saw that with the Royal AM fixture this weekend. They benefited heavily from one of the worst calls of a penalty I've ever seen.
I didn't watch that match, guys. What happened?
Oh, it was
it's
the
disgusting.
two penalties in that game.
Yeah.
The one the referee's right there, clean challenge, clean as day, penalty given. And Royal AM really benefited from that one.
Ended up winning it 2-0, right?
Ended up winning
Because of
2-0
the
from the two
penalties.
penalties. I think one of them was legitimate, but the first one,
Yeah.
goals change
Sketchy.
matches.
Correct.
Right? And they were under it and then win a really dodgy penalty, go 1-0 up and they're not able to push the opposition into another penalty decision. And it's tough to take. It's tough to take.
What's up?
Do we say, guys, is there a possibility, even a tiny, tiny, minute possibility that there might be some type of
What's up?
A big possibility.
Was Mumkis at the
Controversy surrounds.
stands? Was Mumkis at the stands?
She's always there. Just look for the umbrella.
With
the Gucci
their
one.
music box. What do you call it?
The
no,
speaker.
like for real, like
Speaker.
Oh, okay.
And the envelopes.
So the referee danced to the music.
No.
To be honest, Sepi, I mean, it's hard to say out loud, but I think there is an element
it's a
of
podcast,
bribery
we're allowed
and
to say what we
corruption.
want to.
I think there is
With
an
your chest.
element of bribery and corruption in South African football. Whether it's at the top level or
Yeah.
not is debatable,
Yeah.
but certainly at the lower levels.
Yeah.
And
Yes, no,
when
definitely.
the best way to mitigate this is to remunerate referees more fairly.
Yeah.
Referees are not remunerated fairly. They make a decision on the field and then they get long suspensions with no pay. And then they're unable to feed their families. So what happens when you come back to refereeing? You might just take a little on the side to make sure that you can feed your family for the next 6 months if something were to happen to you
Yes, but
again.
even
So it's
so,
really
friend,
tough.
I mean, you are a referee because we are expecting you to be objective.
I agree. And
You
I
know,
think
so-
that's also why we're not
so
having...
it's an ethical issue.
I agree. But if you want top ethical individuals in those positions, you need to remunerate them adequately because otherwise you're going to be attracting the wrong types of people into those
Yeah.
positions.
But also, just to flip it aside, right?
And sorry, it's not to attack referee because as I say this, sorry, before you go, Lynn, as I say this, I'm not accusing any of the referees of taking bribes and stuff. I'm just saying if it is something that's going on, the way to fix it is to remunerate these guys adequately. I'm not trying to attack referees.
They're a victim of circumstance.
And they've got the most difficult job on that pitch, harder than goalkeepers even.
So I was gonna say, all right, you still have Neymar who's getting paid millions and millions, and then he will still be dishonest and dive to win a penalty so that he can win a match.
So what are we saying? Do you just
So
get
is
AI?
it the remuneration thing, or like it's or is it just a human thing?
No, because I think remuneration means the ethical position, the onus is on the people who are officiating. As a footballer, your job is to try and grab every inch and every bit to try and shift the results in your favor. So I think there are two different things. You're almost paid to cheat in a way. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you should, but it's the job of the
'Cause the more
officials
you
to
win
ensure
games,
that
the
you
more money
don't.
to you.
100%.
Yeah.
If you could determine whether a crucial penalty or red card or foul is given in an area that gives you an advantage, it's what do they call it? The dark arts, right? Shithousery. So like that's what's going to happen. And unfortunately, we use VAR as an excuse, but VAR is not there to re-referee. It's to make the decisions better.
Yes.
And I think the only people who kind of got it right, yet there's no real eyeballs on them, is the Australian referees. Have you seen that example of how they do the TMO back and forth
Yes.
in the Australian league? Again, I've seen a few examples of that. I don't know whether it works adequately, but from all the leagues in the world, obviously that's not that recognized. it's the most positive outcomes I see from that league specifically.
Yeah, but we should be taking a
Everywhere
page also from AFCON.
Exactly.
Yes,
AFCON
I was actually
really
going to
good,
mention that.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where we did well when it comes to VAR. So take a page from AFCON, see how they went about it, and you saw how stringent the referees were as well.
I
And
think-
they paid well.
I think you can take a page out of the book, out of every book from AFCON in terms of
Entertainment,
officiating,
Yeah.
everything.
across the board, organization, all of it. It was fantastic. It was a terrific tournament, and
Yeah, here's a joke.